Hey miners, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about power bills, so let's get right into it. So, APS is my power company out here in Arizona, and I'm going to say this, that these people are crooks, all right? They don't have to play by their own rules. And we're going to go over some stuff over here at my current provider here. Now, I do not have another choice. There's no brokers out here. There's only two power companies out in Arizona, and this one, APS, has about 95% of the state, and the other small percentage is ran by a different company called SRP, the Salt River Project. So, but this company has the very vast majority of Arizona, and I have no other choice but to use this company where I live, right? I would have to move away to get a different company. I recently, you guys know, I moved my rigs back. I was doing some testing and stuff like that, and it seems like that I was correct in how the billing worked, right? Well, that's sort of true. So let's get over to the plans that I'm going to be currently on, where I have my rigs at my dad's house. Okay, so I'm on this time of use from 4 to 7 p.m. weekdays with the demand charge. Okay. And what this does is as you can see here, that the off-peak is 5.276 cents, and then there's an on-peak charge between 4 and 7 with a demand charge in this time zone. It even shows this demand charge in this particular time zone, okay? As it well, even on the bill, which I will show you later, that it says on-peak demand charge, okay? And that's where it gets, this is where the price gets exponentially more expensive, because look, you pay by the kilowatt, right? So it's another $16.87 per kilowatt. So if you're drawing 7,000 watts, that's 7 kilowatts. So you need to take 7 and times this number, and that's how much more money you're going to be paying on your bill, right? Okay, so knowing this going in ahead of time, right, my rigs are scheduled to be shut off at 3, which is 1 hour before this cutoff time. I'm shut off between the hours of 3 and 8. This way I am an hour already turned off for the meter, like it's already kicked in. So I'm an extra hour off on each side of this time zone here, just to make sure that I wouldn't be hit with anything crucial, right? So this is the power charges that I have at my dad's house, okay? Now, let's get into my usage here. So here's my usage throughout a typical day when I was at my dad's house, okay? You can see this is when my rigs are pulling here, and this is when they're off. I had like maybe 1 or 2 rigs that I casually left on. That were really low power, like my 6600s. I just left those on. That's why the power just instantly drops. Look, 7.5 kilowatt just instantly drops down. You can see here. Here's 2 o'clock. Here's 3 o'clock. Right? It's all off. 8 o'clock comes back on. Right? Okay. And you can see here that this is misleading. Right? Because look, it says current demand on this date between the hours of 6 and 7 p.m. is 7 kilowatt. What are you talking about? There is no demand here, right? Between 6 and 7. That's not what that is. Okay? So that's the first thing, all right? We are over here at my current bill for this, right? Your billed on peak demand in kilowatt. Okay, on peak demand. Okay, it says it right here, on peak. I am off at this time, right? So I called the company up and I'm like, hey, why am I being charged 6.5 kilowatt for my demand charge for when my machines are off? So I essentially did this, and I don't know how every company feels about crypto mining. I mean, essentially, they can't do anything about it anyways. You could do whatever you want with your electricity, but I just said I'm doing like AI rendering and stuff, running a home business, whatever. And I'm like, hey, my machines are scheduled to be off between the hours of 3 and 8. Your demand charges occur for on peak are between the hours of 4 and 7. So I'm off well within that time zone. Why am I getting an on peak demand charge of 6.5? If it was like 1.5 or something or 2, sure, we could live with that, right? But I'm being charged unfairly in that she looks at my bill and she's just like, "Well, sir, you're gaming the system, sir." And I'm just like, "Well, not really. I'm playing by your rules, right? You want people to turn off their power or not use it, right? That's why you charge exponentially more money for the kilowatt hour and for the on-peak demand charge during that time. You're trying to incentivize people to save electricity by charging them an exorbitant amount of money, right? So I am following your rules, right? Now, am I gaming the system? Yeah, a little bit, right? But there's nothing wrong I'm doing. I'm playing by your rules, right? I am doing exactly what I'm allowed to do in your own, billing cycle, right? How you're charging people. I am turning off between the selected times, so I shouldn't be receiving this on-peak demand charge. So I'm disputing that with them right now, but I mean, they're the power company. They're going to do whatever they want. I'm not going to win this battle. I already see it. The writing is already kind of on the wall, but that's essentially what happened. It says right here, an on-peak demand. I'm not on during the on-peak time, right? That is unfortunate. So as you can see here, this is my house. I'm on the same plan for my dad's place, but I have a negative power bill that keeps rolling over every month, and that's because right now I'm producing, during the summer months is when I produce the most solar, right? So I'm having way too much solar, and so what I did was I took 4 rigs from my house, my 32 6700 XT, so I took 4 R8s back to my house, put them in my garage, and now I'm running those at my house right now to offset some of this, right? Where to make this number more zero, right? Make it more break even, and that way I'll lower the usage at my dad's place, right? Until I get this sorted out. At my dad's place, after all of the charges and going through everything, I was supposed to be around 8 cents, right? Was what I was hoping for. I'm more like at like 12 cents. So that's like 12.3. So it's not great. So I'm hoping I could beat these and call them, and I've been calling them and trying to argue with them about this, but I don't see me winning this battle. I'm just one little fish, so it's just they're not going to make room for me. You know what I mean? So long story short, guys, is make sure you read your energy bills. Make sure you know what you're kind of getting into, and even though I'm following their guidelines, right, I'm still getting dicked around. That just goes to show you that these guys are just going to do whatever they want to do. Well, I wanted to give everybody an update on my farm and like stuff that's going on with my dad's place. So, had to make some changes. I'm trying to roll with the punches here, and hopefully I can win this against the power company. But as of right now, it does not look good. All right, guys, this is the Moneyking giving you the most hashes, and I'll see you next time.